Hey everyone, I have an unboxing to do and I was gonna do a quick little, well not quick, but I was gonna do a painting and then show you some of the things that I've been working on. I got an order from Ruby Mountain and I have had it for a while, like a couple months, and I put it in my drawer and I totally forgot I had it because I wanted to save it to do a review video. So she did briefly come back online. Kate is the owner of the store, Ruby Mountain Paint Company in Colorado, after taking a break. I guess she's having a little career change and she's gonna be back for like a few weeks or a month and then take another break for a month for traveling, and then she'll come back for the final official opening and then closing permanently of her watercolor business. And I'm super sad. I really like her paint. They're my favorite. And I have my primary palette is all my Ruby Mountain stuff. So I did grab a few extras of things, knowing that they wouldn't come back anymore. So I have enough on hand for a while, probably for a lifetime. So I'll open those. And then I also took a really cool trip with a friend, Isabel, to the Tacoma Art Museum. Here's my little tag thingy that they give you. They had a nice little cafe. We had a nice lunch there, Tacoma Art Museum. Saw some of the artwork there. They had some nice original things from masters that were from painted in a portrait of George Washington that was painted during his lifetime, which was super cool because it's our anniversary, or the 250th anniversary of the country coming up or just passed. And anyway, so that was kind of neat. And then we stopped at Tinkertopia. I haven't been there before, and it's like this cool artist secondhand stuff. So you can go in there and buy some art supplies, but they're all kinds of assorted weird things. They really didn't have some of the things that I was hoping for, but everyone wants the paint, you know. They had a lot of acrylic paint from good brands, and then I also was excited. I did find a couple of cool things, and I got a couple vials of the De La Roundy artist acrylic ink, and I got another color too. This one, red earth, and then a grayish color, and I did a couple of things with it. I haven't used a lot of ink wash to do art before. I've done sketching with ink, of course, and some other stuff, but not really a whole lot of things. So I started just I got the paper wet and I let the water do what it was gonna do, and then I put some of the background ink down and then just kind of tilted it, played around, did a little playing, and I'm pretty pleased with what I ended up coming up with. A little Japanese style koi fish or carp, and I kind of like it. I really like the technique, and I'm just playing. I'm not looking at anything while I'm doing it. I'm not trying to copy you know, exactly, you know, whatever Japanese art that I've happened to see in the past. I just was kind of letting the pen do the work and the water do the work. And then this was the second attempt, and I really liked how this one turned out. So I did use I was wanting to use my Japanese art supplies, so I did end up using some Kuretake gold and a few other, this Sumi ink, black Sumi ink at the end. So I like it. I had fun doing it, and I think I'm gonna keep doing these for a while until I get tired of it. Before I start that, I'm gonna open these because I've had them for a long time and I need to see what they are because I don't even remember what they are. So there's this phenomenon called Amazonnesia, which is, you know, amnesia with Amazon. You know, you order a bunch of stuff and you forget what it is even. And I have that for art supplies, so I have to rein it in. Let's see Okay, I don't usually use these, but she was running out of stuff, so I got some of these larger, that's a pretty color, larger pans. Cool. Purple Dawn. This one is a turquoise. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I'm so glad I got this size. This was sold out. I totally forgot. This is one of my favorite colors. I love this color. And I was bummed when I went on and saw that the remaining set of that was actually sold out, and I thought I'd missed it, but I didn't. I could live without the hot pink. I don't really use it a whole lot, but it all came in the thing, so I mostly wanted this one, and then this Purple Dawn, and then Air. Ultramarine Blue, I wanted this one too. I use a lot of ultramarine. It's just so versatile. Maybe this will be something exciting. Oh, not my favorite color, but it's okay. Slate. So those are nice. That was a nice little, I'm really glad I got this extra one. I loved doing some of my cherry blossom stuff with that. Okay, and then these are little mini pans, and that's cute. I'm glad I got that. Let's see what else is in here. I might have got something similar. Yeah, more Air, more slates, more turquoise, more ultramarine. I like using these. I take these in some of my art toolkit palettes, and my little travel palettes. They're perfect size, and they're big enough that you can get a paintbrush in it. With some of those little tiny micro palettes, it's kind of hard. So this one you can actually do a little bit more with. Okay, brown ochre. Yellowist green. I have not seen this color before. Hot pink, that one, and Purple Dawn. I'm not usually a fan of fluorescents at all, and they're dye and they don't really last. They're not color fast, so I like things that will last a little bit longer, but I know a lot of floral artists will use those colors for digital things, and that's the best way to do it if you're gonna do non-light fast pigments. Use them and enjoy them for digital things. I guess I'll do a quick little swatch. Not bad. Do a quickie swatching. I always pre-wet these. I'm not going to get these ones wet because they're the same colors. I like this green though. pretty. Anyway, she's giving a discount code if you want to go on her webpage and order before it's gone forever. At Ruby Mountain Paint, you can definitely do that. I've got a little ultramarine in that. And this one's my favorite. I love that color blue. I'm sure there's a little PW6 in there, a little titanium white to make it opaque, but that's fine, I don't mind it. And her ultramarine is really pretty and it granulates beautifully. So I always stock up on this one. But you know, it's the same pigment across the brands for the most part. So I could make do. I'll make do. I'll find other stuff. I like Gallo's ultramarine too. And they're all a little bit different. And that is very pink and bright. Maybe someday I will find something to do with that. I like the little mixing well too. Is it a magnet? It is. Ooh, I love it. Cool. Okay. So there they are. Pretty colors. And soon to be completely discontinued, unfortunately. All right, I'm gonna try and do another fish. I like doing those. Make sure it's well shaken up. Oopsie. Sorry for the earthquake. I'm starting by, I'm using hot press this time, so I want to see what this does on hot press and see if the ink will flow a little bit differently. This is the Bao Hung professional grade watercolor paper hot press. Make sure it's nice and wet. Drop a little bit of this stuff in. And it does take off across the paper, which I love it. So fluid moves a little bit more differently with hot press paper, so I don't know what it's going to end up looking like, but we'll find out. And I hope it's not streaky like this. I always have a problem where I don't know when to quit touching the paper. at this point, and then I sometimes make it worse, so I'm just gonna help it kind of move around a little bit. Hell, I'm gonna add more water. And I want to make sure the paper is still fairly damp for the next part of what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make some bold color choices here, and I hope it kind of works out. So this is some Speedball ink, and I've been experimenting with this dip pen that I have. My friend gave it to me she got it in Venice. It's a glass dip pen, but I don't think I'm gonna do that quite yet. I know what I need. Let's do a little bit of this. Way too much ink, but that's okay. Okay. That part's done. Ladies, polo stop. Okay. I'm gonna try something different. Make sure this is a little. So I'm gonna do a little something extra right now. I'm gonna kind of help the paint flow around a bit. Or the ink. So I'm just doing this. This is an old cut up straw. I'm just trying to help it kind of go in a kind of more controlled way, but it doesn't have to be. So I'm gonna dip this in too. Let's see. Okay. This pen works in a cool way, a little bit different. It works with capillary action, and it wicks the ink. It's kind of hard to see, but it wicks the ink all the way. It pulls it all the way up to the top here, and it leaves a good. So I'm dropping this in, and I'm gonna let it do some cool blooms. I really like this bright red. It's beautiful. Was an accident. As Bob Ross says, it's going to become a happy little accident, I hope. So you can keep adding in color wherever you want as it dries, and to your own satisfaction. This process can take a little while, as long as you want. I'm gonna put some drops here, and it's kind of making a fish shape, so I'm gonna go with it. It's kind of what I wanted anyway. I'm going for colorful Japanese carp kind of thing. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's still kind of we're going kind of for an abstract kind of rendering of that. I'm gonna do the straw again. Help it bloom. It's looking kind of cool. I like it. I'm gonna go back and add some more red, because because I think it's pretty. I'm intentionally getting too much paint in. Actually, I shouldn't have gotten this brush or this pen nib. Nope, don't like it. Oh shoot. Just a huge glob right on my desk. Yeah, it's okay. Just kind of helping the spread. I really love this vivid red here. It's a gorgeous red. I'm just now kind of helping the lines go where I want them to go. They don't have to be perfect, and the more wonky it is, the better. This white paint settles down pretty thickly. Or this calligraphy ink, that's more what it is actually. But it's nice and opaque, which is why I like using it for this now. This lately, my late obsession. So I sort of have challenged myself to use my art supplies that I have currently and limit what I'm buying that's new. So that's kind of, I've had this dip pen for decades and I never could make it work with other ink, and I realized I was just doing it wrong. So I'm using it for this, and it's actually been working really well. And I'm very thankful that I have it. My friend gave it to me as a bridesmaid's present, and it makes me happy thinking about it because it's my best friend, and I'm glad that she did that. I'm definitely thinking of her while I'm doing it. I'm just kind of filling in the general outline of a fish shape now. When I first did the first one, I would just put the blobs down and it didn't make any shape. And then I saw that that really makes a kind of a fish shape. So I've kind of been enjoying exploring that more lately. One of my friends also has koi fish, and I love going out to see them. So I think about her too when I'm doing these types of things. So the whole thing is very enjoyable to do. Yep, it's looking pretty wonky. That's cool. So before all these white blobs dry, I'm gonna come in and then add some very tiny color accents of the other colors to bring those back up again and help it all blend together. And I think it will look super cool. It'll take a little bit to dry, and when it does, I will come back and do a reveal of the finished product. And I'll show it off. But for right now, thanks for watching, and I will take a pic of the finished product and maybe do a quick little video update at the end of this. And here's the finished result. I like the color combination. I went and added some fine detail with some Sumi ink, and I can't not add the gold. I love the Kuretake gold mica ink, and so I went in and dropped that in a few spots and then brightened it up with some bleed proof white, just to add a few extra little bits of contrast. If I could change anything, I wouldn't have used the hot press paper because I think the ink didn't flow as well. So the background looks really streaky to me, and it didn't when I used the same ink but on the cold press paper. So I might try to redo this and just keep playing around with this style because it seems to be pretty fun for me, and it helps me use up some supplies that I haven't used up in a long time. So it's always nice to have that all done. And here's a side shot so you can see the tail better. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and take it easy. Bye.